All right, this is for the record. Everybody's getting recorded, so watch your language. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our tree care sector partnership meeting. And on this chilly, wet Thursday. And why don't we go ahead and start it off and do some introductions and then see if some other folks are going to join the call. And I'll start off by introducing myself, Josh Morin with We Love Trees. And I'd also like to share something I'm grateful for. And maybe we could all share one thing we're grateful for. And right now it's this nice warm study room in the library that I can get on a Zoom call. So, and I will choose Nikki, since you're to the left of me and you've got a green line around your box. So.
Okay. And it was something that you're grateful for is what you said?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Hello, everyone. I'm Nikki Lucas with the Place Setting Company and serve as the convener for the Colorado Tree Care Sector Partnership. And I am grateful for cozy socks because it is my favorite thing in fall and winter. I'm pretty much always, from now on until spring, will be wearing cozy socks 24/7. It just makes me so happy. It follows the Danish hygge, if anyone's familiar with hygge. So all of the cozy things make me very happy. And I will pass it to Megan.
I'm going to continue with the cozy theme. My name is Megan Townsend. I'm with Altitude Arborist and part of the leadership team for the sector partnership. And I am grateful for this awesome fire I finally got going behind me. Yes, the ash wood that I tried to start it with. No, it's been a struggle this morning, but it's finally going. Yay. I have to pick someone, I'm sorry. Let's go with Kelly if it's safe to do so. Otherwise, we'll go with Mike.
I'm good. Kelly Gouge with Save a Tree and part of the sector partnership leadership team as well. I am thankful. So this has been like the last 5 days has been really good. Just from the standpoint of getting out, we went to the ISA conference last week and it was phenomenal to see everybody again in person. And I had another industry meeting yesterday with the landscape contractors of Colorado, and I'm actually involved in one other today. So we're starting some training to get ready for next year for the sunset of the Pesticide Act. So just getting there to see everybody in the industry is phenomenal. Like it's been too long. And so that's what I'm thankful for today. And Josh, I'm going to actually ask you to pick the next person because my screen is not showing who all's on the call.
Cool. Well, I don't consider myself a linear thinker, but since we have a line going here, the next person in line is Mike Earl on my screen. So Mike, if you could introduce yourself.
Hi, folks. My name is Mike Earl. I am the owner and operator of Old Growth Tree Service in Eagle, Colorado. Also a member of the leadership team here with the Colorado Tree Care Sector Partnership. It's funny how things kind of intuitively fall together. I was going to mention how grateful I was last week to get to spend some time with David at Arborscape. You know, I came to Denver to meet up with Josh at the Cool Boulder event, and then the next day I got to go over and see David at his establishment there at Arborscape, and then hooked up with Kelly at the ISA conference the next day. And so, yeah, I'm grateful for this community, the collaboration that's occurring, and the fact that I just signed up for Expo and I'm heading to Charlotte in a couple of weeks, getting out of this snow.
Cool. Who's next?
I am going to go with Shelby.
Hi, I am Shelby Merriman. I'm with Arborscape, and I kind of give a student perspective for the leadership team. And I'm grateful for heated cars. because being able to get into my car in the morning and not freeze while I'm driving places is lovely. And I'm gonna go Joseph next.
Hello, everybody. Joe Tabano. I hope this is the right Joe. There's usually more than one. ICE Connect Internship Coordination, Alternative Cooperative Education. Always looking to make partners in tree cares, especially in the far northeast or that Green Valley Ranch area. I don't know if Janelle's gone, but I'll have Janelle go.
I have not gone, so I will go. So Janelle Highfield, Front Range Community College. I know Lynn is really the person. I'm grateful to this group because we have 18 year one apprentices enrolled. So I just think that's awesome. So I'm going to use a work related gratefulness, but really, I think that's awesome. And then I think we're at 8 year two. So really that growth is incredible. So thank you all. Maybe I'll pick Lynn, my colleague, to go next.
Hi, Janelle. Hi, everybody. Lynn Bosler, Front Range Community College, and Janelle totally stole my thank you. And unless I'm wrong, I think we have 17, Janelle, but still 17 year one students from 8 different companies, which is pretty incredible. We have a really nice group of students. So really getting excited about starting class. And they all got their enrollment to TCIA this morning. So, and I will send it to, let's see who else, David.
Hello, I'm David Merriman with Arborscape. I'm part of the Arborscape team. And what I'm thankful for is spreadsheets. Without that, I don't know how life can get done. And I will pass it to Adrian. Oh, Adrian, if he's there.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm Adrian Camacho with the City of Aurora, and I guess it's a gratitude moment. I am thankful for a very safety conscious group that works for me.
Nice. Pick the next person.
Oh yeah, I'm supposed to do that. Erin, TCIA.
Hi, I'm having flashbacks to elementary school gym class getting picked. I'm like, pick me. I'm Erin from TCIA. I'm the manager of workforce recruitment and retention. And I'm going to be greedy and have 2 thank yous. I want to thank Josh for inviting me to join you all today. And then I'm also thankful to be here in Massachusetts, hearing that you all are having snow over there, because it is still fall over here and I'm enjoying it a lot. So I'm thankful for that this morning. All right, let me see.
Glad you're here, Erin.
Yeah, thank you. I will go with Kat. I don't know if we've heard from Kat yet.
Thanks. So I'm Kat Plaza. I'm a statewide registered apprenticeship consultant and working on helping programs get registered and other opportunities that may be available. And I am thankful that right after this meeting, I am on vacation for a couple of days and taking the baby back to Wisconsin to see my family. So direct flights to Green Bay end next week. So I'm right on the cusp. So I'm thankful for direct flights and all of everything that comes with vacations. So, and Joel, I don't think we've heard from you.
Hey, this is Joel from Seraphim Tree Service here in Northwest Boulder County. And I'm thankful for the snow. It's piling up here at 8,500 feet.
Well, welcome, Joel. So good to see you. Thanks for joining us. And if you want to pick the next person, that'd be great.
You know, I'm trying to do this on a phone and I'm not able to see who else is on here. So I might throw it back to you, Josh.
Cool. Sounds good. How about Randy? Are you there, Randy? Maybe Randy's just listening.
Sorry, I'm here. Just like a second. Hi, Randy Grady. I'm with Treetop, which is now a division of Bartlett, and I am grateful for hot coffee.
Awesome. Can you pick the next
Um,
person? Who else is
yes.
here?
Did Joseph go yet?
He did.
Yeah. What about Rob?
Hi, yes, thank you. Sorry I was a little late. But my name is Rob Kirchner. I'm the Assistant City Forester here at Westminster. I'm subbing in for Brian McCoy, who's got a lot on his plate right now. So hoping to get a little more involved with this group because I really like what you guys are doing. I am very grateful this week that we are fully staffed as of Monday after a very long employee drought. So looking to kind of move ahead with full steam now into the rest of the fall and winter as it looks outside. And now, since I was late, I really don't know. I'm looking down the list. Did Dan go? You just came on, right, Dan?
Yes, I did. Dan with Summit Tree Care. I had an apprentice last year. That was an epic fail. So we're trying it again this year. I'm hoping for a better outcome. Yeah, and we're hoping this works out, and hoping to get a few more guys through this thing. We'll just see how it goes this year. I guess I don't know. I don't know either. I guess just start talking if you haven't.
I think that's just about everybody on the call this morning. Nikki, do you want to go ahead and do a screen share for our agenda so we can hop into it? Appreciate everybody taking a moment to introduce themselves and being here. And we'll take a look at the agenda. All right. So I guess first off on the agenda, I feel like I owe it to everybody to, I was grateful for the opportunity to share what we're up to with the sector partnership at the ISA meeting. And I also recognize from my perspective, it was a bit of a fail from a presentation. I really had a lot of travel the week before, and I don't know, felt like I could have done a much better job of that. And I really appreciate the support from Megan and everyone else and Nikki in getting some resources to put that talk together. But just wanted to say that. And that being said, I'm glad that we got the word out, and it was great to be able to share some successes of our program and to also recognize all the people that have helped support us along the way to get where we are today. So just wanted to say that. And yeah, we have a guest today, Erin Demers, which we're hoping, Erin, you could maybe go ahead and tell us a little bit about what you're up to at TCIA. I know this morning I was talking with Emily, who's our apprentice, and she was mentioning that she has some homework to do for her first class, and that's, I think, using the TCIA online curriculum. So, there's definitely a lot of partnership happening from your organization, and just maybe hand it over to you if you have some stuff that you could share with us this morning.
Yeah, absolutely. It's super exciting to hear about all of those new apprentices that are using our resources. So happy to hear about that. I do have a few slides. I did try to share my screen, but it looks like I'm not able to. Is there any way I could get access to do that?
Nikki might be able to help you with that. Yeah, give her 1 second and she'll try to get you set up.
Give it a try again.
Okay. There we go. That should be, are you guys able to see the PowerPoint presentation?
Yes.
Okay. So again, I'm Erin Demers, Manager Workforce Recruitment and Retention. Just a longer way to say workforce development with TCIA. I just joined TCIA in June of this year. So still relatively new to tree care and a lot of learning to do. A little bit of background on me: I am a former educator, and I did literacy coaching with teachers, so a lot of professional development, and then made the pivot to workforce development. So really excited to be here. I have a few just updates of things going on in workforce development with TCIA. I did want to kind of start off on an exciting note. This week, I had the opportunity to visit UMass Amherst and the Stockbridge School of Agriculture in Massachusetts. I got to speak with the principals of arboriculture and the commercial arboriculture classes, and just share about TCIA and the, the offerings that we have for members, and then also the different free resources that students could have access to, like our digital magazine, Student Career Day, the podcast, Outside Careers in our Career Center. So that was really cool and exciting. And then I also wanted to share this, was definitely a highlight for me to see. The advisor that I was there with brought me to see this tree in Sunderland, Massachusetts. And you can see there's a little placard on there, which is a plaque from the New England ISA. And when TCIA was the National Arborist Association, the placard is from 1987, and it recognizes the tree in its bicentennial year, and also being there when the Constitution was signed. So that was super cool. We did post about it, and I made the error of calling it an oak tree. And Christina messaged me this morning like, that's a sycamore. So I'm still learning, but I thought that was really cool and probably one of the biggest trees I've ever seen. So definitely wanted to show you guys that. That was exciting. But definitely working on, outreach like this and different opportunities to go to schools and to speak to, students that are interested in tree care, or maybe those, that aren't aware of it just yet. So that was exciting. Couple of other things I'm working on. I'm updating Outside Careers. I'm trying to feature more of the registered arborist apprenticeships that are out there. If you do go to visit it, you'll see under the apprenticeship section, Front Range Community College is on there, and other Colorado apprenticeship programs. So if you know of any, really specific tree care companies that are offering that, please do send them my way, because I want to make sure they're featured in the event anyone's using Outside Careers to find apprenticeships. I know there hadn't really been someone maybe in my position for a while before, so I think some apprenticeships have kind of slipped through the cracks. So definitely just send them my way, and I'm happy to get the information up there.
Erin, let me interrupt you with the question real quick, or maybe a process thing. So every company that's here or that's participating with the Tree Care Sector Partnership that has registered apprenticeship, they could send like a little description of their company and a logo, and you'd be able to put that up on Outside Careers. Is that right?
Yes. So what I typically ask for is like a link to the company website, a good point of contact for folks to reach out directly, company description, logo, maybe a few words about the apprenticeship program specifically. And yeah, I'm happy to get, each company up there individually. I know Old Growth Tree is on there. I'm not sure if it was Mike that I spoke with before, but yes, so absolutely. I have my contact information on the last slide, so feel free to jot that down and send those over to me.
Cool. Would I wonder if we could shoot out an email or something that just bullet points those like 5 or 6 items to membership, and that way we can make sure that we're getting you consistently what you need to do that, because I think we'd all probably be interested in highlighting that.
Yeah, awesome. Josh, if I sent that to you, would you be able to forward it to everyone in the group?
I would, but probably a more reliable person would be Nikki Lucas.
Nikki, okay. Okay, just jotting that down. Awesome, thank you. I also wanted to highlight, we just got the free Introduction to Arboricultural Safety course in Spanish. So that's going to be a great offering to, the Spanish speaking folks that are interested. Also on Outside Careers, I've been featuring industry specific scholarships. And that really has just been, research and outreach. So again, if there are any scholarships, whether they're in Colorado or nationwide, please feel free to shoot them my way so I can get permissions to feature those as well. Just again, promoting the industry to anyone who might be interested. I'm also working on keeping the blog posts on Outside Careers current and updated. So different events like this, like I did yesterday, I'm featuring, and I would be happy, if there was anything exciting going on with apprenticeship in Colorado, please send me the information and I'm happy to type up a blog post and get that featured. Also, I'm interested in updating Outside Careers with just additional career pathways. Because right now I feel like what we have on there is a little limited. I feel like the word arborist itself does not give like the full scope of the different opportunities in tree care. So that's something else I'm going to be working on. Just because, if anyone doesn't see something that would specifically speak to them, it might, turn them away. So I want to just show like the full scope of what's available. Any other questions about that before I move on? Okay. So apprenticeship, I know Josh had mentioned before, TCIA is now offering the apprenticeship online with the portals. So that's extremely exciting. I'm also working on that apprenticeship intake and those outreach efforts. Kind of starting with seeing like what apprenticeships are currently out there that I might not be aware of. And then also speaking with different tree care companies that are interested in working them through the intake process. Kind of like I mentioned, just updating any of those apprenticeships on Outside Careers. And I'm sure you're all probably well aware of National Apprenticeship Week, November 14th to 20th. So if you are doing anything special that week to highlight your apprenticeships, please do let me know, and TCIA would be happy to feature them in whatever way we can. I just wanted to share some upcoming events. We have our Women in Tree Care pre-conference at Expo, Student Career Day, which are two events that I'm responsible for overseeing at Expo. On Saturday, Bob Rouse and myself are basically doing like a follow-up to Josh and August session on apprenticeship for any folks that are interested in taking that next step so that they kind of know what to expect to get registered for apprenticeship. On Wednesday, November 16th, when I'm back after Expo for National Apprenticeship Week, I'm going to go to a career pathways fair in New Hampshire, which is just, getting those graduating high school students who are ready to get to work, whether it be in a trade or an apprenticeship program. I'm going to go represent TCIA. And I've also invited different member companies in New Hampshire if they wanted to join with their own booth, or they're happy to join me at mine. So I'm excited about that. I also did want to let you all know, I don't know if this is on your radar, the Adams County Education Apprenticeship Fair. It's in February. I wasn't able to see an exact date, but for 11th and 12th grade students, that fair seemed like it might be something you all could be interested in Brighton, Colorado. Is that something that you've attended before?
I'm not sure if, I don't think we've attended that one. We have attended career fairs before, so it is definitely something that we would want to have on our radar and be aware of. So really appreciate you sharing that with us.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm interested in possibly going, so that would be, great if maybe a few of us were able to go. I did reach out to them and they said at the time the date wasn't determined, so they would get back to me, and I can forward that along as well. And then in March, I also stumbled upon a career expo, which is actually put on by the construction industry in Atlanta, but it's open to any, skilled trades to attend, and they currently don't have anyone from our industry representing. So I'm planning on going to that, and the audience is like 6,000 students. So definitely excited and looking forward to going to that.
Awesome. Sounds like you're going to be pretty busy, Erin.
I know. I'm like, oh, got a busy calendar for sure. I'm also working on updating our tree care careers plan. So I'm working on a current and potential partnership list. I'm also, like I just mentioned, working on just researching different conferences, career fairs that I can promote the industry to folks, working on enhancing outside careers, just make it a little better. And just starting to offer more resources for enhancing employer recruitment, onboarding, training, and retention initiatives. I'm working with Susie Guzman, who's our Director of Business Solutions, to offer webinars on topics specifically to speak to those. And then also, kind of like I mentioned, just sharing career fairs like I just did with folks in like local areas. I just chatted with Be Your Own Hero, who's a nonprofit that works to get students into the skilled trades. That's in Buffalo, New York. So again, I would reach out to those local companies to say, here's this great event. I'm probably going to go if you want to join with me, just to raise more awareness. And then I'm also going to be starting to promote and support the crew leader qualification as well. Will fall under my my role. So just wanted to provide that update for you all. And here is my contact information. I can definitely shoot out an email though, like we mentioned, with a few of those different pieces so that everyone who doesn't already have it can reach out anytime if you have any ideas or questions or suggestions.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Erin, for sharing all of that with us. And, there's so much alignment in the work that you're doing with what we're doing as well. So I feel really excited about that and really see the potential impact that, you can have in your position there at TCIA. So I think that's awesome. And just wondering, yeah, Nikki, you've got your hand raised. I think if anyone else has questions for Erin, this would be a great time to ask those. So yeah, open it up to some questions for Erin.
My question is the webinars and some of those resources that you're talking about, do TCI members automatically get notified when those things are happening?
They should. We're definitely working with our marketing team to make sure that there's correspondence and communication going out to folks. So absolutely.
Okay. And so then me in my role, I'm not in tree care, but I support a lot of tree care folks. Is there like a separate list that I could get on that I might be notified of some of those things?
Yeah, absolutely. I can jot down your contact information, Nikki, to make sure I just like pass along those things that are going on. I'm also working on getting for outside careers a mailing list so that folks can sign up for like, hey, I'm interested in Student Career Day, apprenticeship, and women in tree care, so that they're getting notified. So I will also let you know when that's ready to go, and I can make sure communication goes out there.
Thank you. I put the partnership Gmail in the chat.
Oh, thank you.
I'm happy. I think we were in contact on my place setting company email, which both go to me. But I think for purposes of any email lists, that the partnership Gmail would be perfect. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Can I ask a quick question? And sorry if this is a little bit outside thinking, really, it's a question that's kind of multiple. I'd love to have some discussions later about this. And I'd love to hear Shelby's take as our student representative. In an age of engagement and a culture or a community that the youth of Shelby's age and maybe younger aren't utilizing computers as much as our generation, and the quantity of times that our age group gets in Zoom meetings and can tolerate the 1 hour discussions. What are we as an industry doing to differentiate ourselves to make sure that we're engaging with the youth with how they're communicating with one another? And then as we move forward as a group, positioning ourselves to make sure that we are, I don't want to use the word, like the engagement has to be short, precise, and like all of us in this world, there's so many distractions going on. And so like for myself, there's so much mental training that I do to stay focused, that I think that that the next group of folks, there's going to be so many different things that are pulling all directions, that getting somebody to focus for 1 hour or 2 hours or 6 hours or 9 hours, that's going to be a lot different than what we as a group are used to.
So Mike, it sounds like what you're wondering is, like what are we doing, or what can we be doing as an industry group or in outreach to really make sure that the way that we're communicating is in alignment with the way that a lot of the younger generation is consuming or using technology. Is that what you're saying there?
Yeah, thanks for speaking so eloquently for me, Josh. It's in my mind. It's just hard to get it out in words. And well, Erin, I commend you with everything that TCIA has done for the last year, and I'm so excited to have the involvement in what's been created. We've got to continue our mindset to be 5 to 10 to 15 years down this path.
Yeah, I hear you and I agree. Something we have to think about moving forward. I know I can speak to a few things that I know we do with social media, especially, with keeping things maybe shorter and like more succinct. What comes to mind when you were talking is, I don't know if you're familiar with like TLDR, too long didn't read. I know, like keeping things almost short, like in that tweet, like I might not, and I'm guilty of it sometimes when I pull up an article, I'm just skimming for the things that I am interested in or are going to speak to me. And then sometimes I do appreciate that little too long didn't read. What's the gist? Like, what do I just need to know? So I know our marketing team is trying to be creative and mindful when getting the word out to students or younger folks, especially, so like Instagram, maybe Facebook. I don't think we're on TikTok just yet. That's scary. TikTok scares me. And I know when I do my, my posts, I do try to keep them short, just because not even just younger folks. I know like we're all probably guilty of that shorter attention span, just like the way the world is. So definitely something to be mindful of for sure. I don't know if I know the exact answer, but something to be mindful of.
Thank you for that, Erin. And I love that analogy of TLDR because just for an example, I had to give a presentation for a $300,000 tree care program to an HOA board. And they said, we don't want a book. We don't want a master's report thesis. We just want to read a couple bolded sentences. And if you would have told me years ago that I was writing a one-page sales report for a $300,000 job, and I don't get to get in front of them, I would have thought you were absolutely crazy. But that is the error of our generation.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I read something recently even about emailing, like reading your emails and challenging yourself to see what word can you eliminate, and just be as precise and short as possible is the best. So yeah, thank you for bringing that up.
Does anybody else have any other questions or comments for Erin? Erin, before we move on with the agenda, I did want to highlight we do have a process, and you may or may not be aware of it, where students or anyone really that's potentially interested in apprenticeship is able to submit their information on the Front Range Community College website, and then that initiates a process where, if they're really interested, we suggest that they go through the Intro to Arboriculture training module, just as a way to qualify them. And so I thought that might be something to connect, maybe with Lynn or the folks at Front Range to see, are there areas of alignment for what you're doing with maybe outside careers and that qualification process, that sort of connecting those entry points just for arboriculture. So just wanted to highlight that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. I know I'm trying to think of creative ways to encourage folks to take that course. I know, as an example, Christina at UMass, she uses it as a part of their curriculum, and that's something they need to finish by the end of the semester. But definitely taking it as kind of like a pre-qualification for apprenticeship or employment. On the Career Center, I was able to get a checkbox for when a job seeker is registering, like have they taken that course? So they can check off if they've passed it, and it kind of has a little blurb that kind of just tells them the importance that it shows the potential employer that you know, taken the time and pass and kind of have that qualification. So yes, definitely.
Excellent. Awesome.
To
Thank you.
speak just a little bit further on that for the employers that are in the room that aren't familiar with this spreadsheet that Josh is referring to, it's been available to us, and I've actually set up an alert. So I get an email when a new person is registered through the Colorado Front Range Community College. It comes to my email inbox, and then I, as an employer, can vet that person to say, are they in my region? Should I reach out to them? Like, it's a tool that we all as employers can use to strengthen our workforce with people that are interested in our profession.
Thank you.
Cool. Well, thanks so much for sharing that, Erin. And Nikki, I don't know if we can move on to the next agenda item.
Does that work?
It says you have screen up. There it is. All right, cool. And so it looks like next, I don't know, Lynn, did you have any, or Janelle, did you have any updates for us on the apprenticeships?
Yep. I can just tell you again, hallelujah, we have 17 in our year 1 and 8 in year 2. And I can give you the list of companies. And first of all, Whitney Long. Does anybody recognize that name, and what company is she from? She's a student that registered, and we're not sure which company she's from.
She's with Arborist.
Okay, thank you. All right, so we have 5 from Save a Tree. This is year 1. 5 from Save a Tree, 3 from Altitude, 2 from City of Aurora, 2 from Johnny Appletree, 1 from Summit Tree Care, 1 from Patriot Tree Care, 1 from We Love Trees, and we must have 2 from Arborscape then. Is that right, Dave?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And for year 2, 5 from the City of Aurora, 2 from the Save a Tree, and 1 from We Love Trees. So very exciting. I just want to say again, thank you to all the partners who are going to help us out this year. Altitude is going to provide the chipper truck we need. Save a Tree is going to provide the bucket truck, and the City of Westminster is going to provide trees, which is very important as well. Also, this year we have a lead instructor, Ryan Bartlett, who is helping. He's teaching all of the plant health care courses, but he also is helping all the other instructors. We have 3 other instructors. Alex from City of Aurora is teaching all the climbing and bucket truck courses. Charlie Pearson, also from City of Aurora, is teaching the rigging. And I said Alex is from Save a Tree, sorry. And Ryan Bartlett. So, and then Chris Miller's teaching the intro classes. So again, really excited. We also have a new director of apprenticeship with Front Range, Chris Houston. She has been really successful in a lot of different types of apprenticeships, and we'll be starting meeting with the leadership team to look for additional ways that we can start recruiting students and companies more into the apprenticeship.
Awesome. Thank you, Lynn.
You bet.
Nikki, what do we have up next?
Madeline said she was able to join. She was going to be late. Madeline? Okay. So that was the next one. And then we wanted to chat about National Apprenticeship Week coming up in November. I know Kat has a few things to add for some opportunities. And then I think we're just going to talk about it generally of what we might want to do.
Yeah, so a little background. Colorado recognizes Apprenticeship Month. So the governor signs a proclamation. It's pretty much each month or every November, but I guess we have to wait till the proclamation is officially signed. So there will be in Colorado a lot of opportunities to promote your apprenticeship throughout the entire month. There's a couple of things. The CDLE team is doing a video, and so they are looking for a couple of apprenticeship partners, and Nikki is going to have all of the actual information about the things I'm talking about following up. And so they're looking at coming, either you can come to CDLE or they can come to you. So if somebody is interested, it's probably going to be first come, first serve within the industry. I would love to say that if you have DEIA, so the diversity, equity, and inclusion, and accessibility is always big. So if you have any non-traditional apprentices, whether that's, age, females or other demographics, highlighting that would probably definitely get you in that video. And then also, so we also have the governor has signed an executive order that while when they do the apprenticeship awards, that in the past Front Range Community College, and I believe we had a female apprentice that won, or at least was one of the top nominees in the last couple of years. So organizations with 5% or more of their individuals participating in the registered apprenticeship, and that includes the mentor and the apprentice. So if you have less than 40 employees and you have an apprentice, there's just a little self-attestation. It's just a jot form. And then you will get some kind of, I don't know what the recognition is from the governor, but you will get governor's recognition for organizations with 5% or more of individuals participating in a RAP. So I would really thought of you guys right away as soon as I put that number to it. And once again, even more so, I learned that includes the mentor and the apprentice. And if you have someone that's just not their whole job is the apprenticeship, but managing a lot of the apprenticeship. So Shelby, I think you would count with a lot of the work that you do for that. So it's really open to interpretation if apprenticeship is a part of your small business culture. So there's that. And then something new that isn't going, well, if you don't have a registered apprenticeship yet, they announced a funding opportunity on Monday that new employers engaged will have the opportunity for, I believe it's $7,500 once you've had an apprentice and you've kept them for 6 months. And Megan, since yours hasn't gotten approved yet, I'm going to see if we can stall and see if it's appropriate. So we'll chat. I don't know because we've already submitted it once. I have to see what the gray area is there, but y'all know I love living in gray. So if you are interested in a new apprenticeship, that money is good until 2025, but it's first come, first served. And so once it's gone, and that's if you're a new employer. And the other caveat there that is important to mention is if you get this money, you cannot be a direct employer recipient of the scale-up funds. And so some individuals on this call did receive those scale-up funds. So good news is you're not missing out because you're already an employer. But if you were looking at increasing capacity in a different way, such as it's not the same money that Lynn used, but if you wanted to use it in such a way, that would be something that you would be forfeiting your opportunity to by getting this quick and easy win. Yeah, so that was my 3 things, and Nikki has a lot of background information on each of those that she'll have in the minutes. If any questions?
No, that's great, Kat. Appreciate you making us aware of those opportunities and for thinking of us. And I think the bigger picture here is the more people that are aware of Arborist as a career pathway, whether or not they end up, in registered apprenticeship or not, that's the bigger mission. And so the more we can do to get people to think of us as a career and as an industry, and as a potential, apprenticeship pathway, that's what we're after. So appreciate you making us aware of those opportunities. And I think we'd love to participate. I'm not sure that we're clear on what we can do or want to do for National Apprenticeship Week or if anything, but I think that's something, if anyone has ideas about that or is passionate about that, I just would say we definitely welcome any of those ideas. And I know that we have a couple, Joel, you're on the call this morning, Rob, I know you guys as well don't have Arborist apprenticeship at the City of Westminster. But if you want resources to talk about that, definitely we'd love to, even if you're one or two person company, you can have our registered Arborist apprenticeship at your company. So yeah.
So just to clarify what I heard from Kat, you're mentioning that individuals that have a registered apprentice that Lynn mentioned earlier, like Summit or Altitude Arborist, after 6 months, they'll be able to apply for a $7,500 grant to pay back some of those fees that they're faced with having those apprentices on staff.
So that is kind of what you've heard. So it's I'm not sure what the window is on when the apprenticeship was created. So Megan's was not approved by hasn't gone past CDLE because of some minor information. And so that's why Megan's was. I don't know if we will have to find out. There's a question and answer period, and Nikki will have all the information. I believe it's on the 14th of November. And then the funding is available on the 18th. So any new employers, it's about employer adoption. So any employers who adopt the registered apprenticeship after November 18th, you would apply for it as you adopt the apprenticeship, and then you would get your first $5,000 when you hire the apprentice, and that can be hiring from within your staff into the apprentice. So it's when they get into Rapids. And then once that individual is still in Rapids in 6 months, then you get the additional $2,500. And it's a one-time. And if you have a cohort, so you start a couple of people at the same time, as long as one person is in there in 6 months. So there is a longevity bonus, but it is a one-time contribution. Does that help, Mike?
I just was looking, I do remember that you said that with Altitude, there might be some things, but thank you for clarifying that. I just wanted to make sure that everybody on the call that has apprentices heard what I thought I heard.
Yeah. And I would really encourage, because I heard the funding announcement when everybody else did, because I'm not, and that's the good thing, right? I'm not in that team, so I can speak to you and say I'm working towards things, because I don't know because I'm not one of the state policymakers. That's the beauty of being in between. And so I would encourage anyone that is interested, who maybe would want to know like what that window is, like if I've done it during this grant period, would I be able to go backwards since I have adopted it? Because I don't know the answer to that question. That's one that I anticipate will be a hot question. And I think the more employers they hear from might help them make their decision.
Awesome. Thanks, Kat. Thanks, everybody. Looks like we have about 10 minutes left. Do we want to talk about the tree care industry updates, happenings, or maybe look at flip-flopping if any of the the tree care employers or businesses have anything they need to share in terms of a challenge, or just to make us aware of. I know, Dan, you mentioned that you took a step into apprenticeship last year, and sounds like from, maybe there's some opportunities there. So just wanted to offer it up there, kind of flip the agenda, but to offer it up to employers. If anybody has any questions on apprenticeship that they're looking to get out of the meeting.
I don't have any questions, but I am curious about you guys' success on retaining some of these apprentices, especially if they go through it and realize it's tough work and maybe not for them. But if you guys have any positive feedback, I'd love to hear that.
Dan, I know I can speak to my experience when we first started the apprenticeship program. At the time, I was with Tadican, and we had 3 apprentices that we enrolled in the program, all of which were pretty, maybe it was 2, Steve and then Mark, and both had experience. And I know that Mark ended up leaving and moving to Utah, and he's now has his, is working for the city of Utah as an arborist. And I think that's an example of, and then Steve ended up leaving the program, and it's an example of just that there's a lot of things out of our control as employers, and that apprenticeship does represent an investment in that employee. And so oftentimes, really having a clear understanding of the intentions of the employee, of how long they want to stay on, is important, and so sometimes hiring someone right into an apprenticeship program can be a little bit questionable, because you don't know if they've really even been onboarded onto your company and if they plan to stay. So that's just some of my experience with it, is making sure that it's fit for the right person.
And I can't speak specifically to the Arborist apprenticeship program, Dan, but I can speak from an employer standpoint of exponential growth, recruitment, and the way that I show up in and out every day. I have 50 employees after 6 years, and we've been sprinting as fast forward as we possibly can to make sure that we are offering something that's inner focused, that really gives the employees the why behind the what, and gives them the freedom and the opportunities to create their own pathways in their platform, like using Old Growth Tree Service as a platform to move forward. I would love to have an offline conversation with you. I don't have all of, I've had turnover this year. I used to have a little better retention, but I feel how you feel. I can see how you're explaining yourself, and I'd love to help out. If there's anything I can do, I'll put my email in the chat, and you can reach out to me, and we can chat offline if you'd like.
I think one way to look at it that, I've kind of taken the approach of looking at it is that, we had an apprentice and he didn't end up finishing the program just due to his own personal needs and didn't stay with the company. But I think that if you look at it as we're creating this pool of people that's going to better the industry, and not looking at it from a direct need standpoint, where you're just seeing it as anything that does work out and anything that we're contributing is going to help the industry as a whole. So that's kind of helped me have a better perspective about it.
The big discussion around here is, are you happy? I mean, it's the world of the Great Resignation. None of us are. We may all be. Josh, I mean, the people that were at the ISA conference will attest that while our elders were defined by their career and where they worked for their entire lives, we may be defined by our career in general, but to the industry, the next group and wave of individuals may or may not be invested in sticking with an employer, let alone the career. So if we can get people to stick with the career, we're doing great things, regardless of that they're working in Idaho now. Nothing makes me more happy watching them fly in the ball and use a bad grapple truck to start pulling logs out, and knowing that they spent a good 2 years with me on the way. It's all a matter of perception.
Yeah, I think those are great points, Randy and Mike. Is that the spirit of a lot of this is that, hey, a rising tide raises all ships. And just as Dan, you might have lost an employee from the apprenticeship program, by having apprenticeship, and making that visible to other people, there are going to be people out there that are probably going to look at you, or maybe they've left an apprenticeship program in, say, Wisconsin, and they're looking to complete it. And so by having apprenticeship at your company, it just opens up that, sort of window of people that may or may not be attracted. And so that's the way I look at it as well, is that it's a great thing. It's sort of like, I remember having an employee apply, and he said, hey, I was only considering working for TCIA accredited companies because I know that they needed to have like robust safety programs to be accredited. And I think that's a similar thing for apprenticeship. It's like, hey, there's some things you have to do to have registered apprenticeship that really show you're committed to professionalism, and that's going to attract a higher caliber of person, hopefully, that's career minded.
And I think, just adding to the discussion, it can sting a little bit putting in funds, your own funds, and then having it not work out. But I think right now is really a great time to kind of get back into it because of the funding opportunities that are there. Not necessarily just the grant from this year that many of us are taking advantage of, but just the ongoing funding at the state level for apprenticeship. Working with Kat, I mean, she's a wealth of knowledge. So certainly if you haven't sat down with Kat recently, just having to sit down with her, it makes it a lot more palatable to bring somebody on, and if it doesn't work out, that at least you didn't have thousands of dollars in.
Cool. Well, anybody else have any questions or things they wanted to add or speak? All right. We'll appreciate the conversation, everybody being here. We're running up right on 10:30. Nikki, I don't know, did you have anything else that we wanted to get in here at the last minute?
The only other thing on the agenda was just giving an overview about the Rocky Mountain ISA conference, if anybody else had anything to share about their attendance there.
I can just speak really briefly. We had a lot of interest after Josh's talk and having a table there. So I think, in the future, this is a good event for us to be sure that we are in attendance and talking about apprenticeship. If we can talk about it in front of the whole group, great. But at least having a table there and having several of us there to engage people in conversation about apprenticeship. This particular event, I felt there was a lot of interest, a lot of QR code scanning going on. So hopefully, Nikki, lots of people have been in touch with you. And I would definitely, if they couldn't make it today, continue to keep them on the list and engage and reach out to them because there was some very significant interest generated.
Awesome. Thank you, Megan. Thanks so much to you and everyone else that volunteered and then worked that booth and had those conversations. That's really, helping to uplift our industry, and that's the spirit that we engage with in the partnership. So thank you for that. and want to make sure we're honoring everybody's time. It's 10:31, so I guess we should go ahead and sign off. And yeah, if you get a chance and run into somebody, please tell them about what we're doing and invite them to the next meeting. And yeah, hope everybody has a great day.